afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our May 15th, Third on Third. Thank you guys for all coming. Just a couple housekeeping things for us really quick. Could you all silence your cell phones now? Thank you. All right, so first, I would like to thank everyone for coming out and supporting us for our 61st Annual Shrimp Festival and Parade. We brought home second place in the walking group category, our return to the winner's circle for the first time since 2017. Thank you guys. Also, come out to our May 24th for our last tea of the year. Wear your flashiest outfit, enjoy tea, a fashion show, and Tiffany jewelry sale. It begins at 2 p.m. and spaces are $35 per person. For more info, please contact Thea. Her information will be on the back table over there. Okay. All right. Also, grab your lunches for our June 3rd Brown Bag Lunch, which begins at noon, presented by authors Steven Doster and photographer Benjamin Gallen to discuss their book, Palms, Priests, and Pirates. This is going to be a comprehensive history of Amelia Island. For more info about our brown bags, just contact me. My information is Tariq at ameliamuseum.org. That's T-I-R-I-K at ameliamuseum.org. All right. So we have our summer camp coming up. That's going to be June 8th through June 12th. The kids will be exploring the world of espionage with this year's theme of I Spy. It is suitable for ages 7 through 12, and it is $70 per student. Forms must be submitted and notarized before the start of camp. These forms can be found in our newsletter or picked up here at the museum. The filled out forms can be dropped off or mailed in. For more information, again, please contact Thea. Her information is in the back. All right, speaking of Thea, we are immensely proud to announce that our very own education director, Thea Seagraves, was awarded the High Achiever Award by the Nassau County Democratic Black Caucus. Instrumental in building vital bridges between the Amelia Island Museum of History and the Black community, fostering deep relationships that span the island and the greater Nassau community. By opening new doors for collaboration and ensuring every voice in our region feels a genuine sense of belonging at this museum, she has created a more unified and complete picture of our shared history. So, we've already done a round of applause, but I think we should deserve another round of applause for recognition. Without further ado, I will introduce our speaker. Our speaker today will be Mike Kegler, was born in Harlem, New York, and was raised in South Jamaica, Queens, New York. He is a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point, class of 1987, a Desert Storm veteran, and served in the U.S. Army as an air cavalry helicopter pilot. After leaving the military, Mike earned his MBA from Kent State University and worked as an executive with several Fortune 500 organizations. He ran his own consulting firm in Atlanta as a Lean Six Sigma business process expert and global supply chain expert. As an avid historian, Mike is a returning son of the Gullah Sea Island of Amelia Island, Florida, where he currently resides. He is Gullah, Geechee on both sides of his family, as his mother's family is from Charleston area and his father's family is from Fernie Beach, Amelia Island right here. He can trace his family's history on Amelia Island to the 1850s and 1860s with Trey Roberts and the Delaney families. Mike is a 32nd degree Prince Hall Mason and one of two Grand Lodge historians with the most Worshipful Union Grand Lodge of Florida. He is also a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. He served as a member of the Fernandina Beach Parks and Recreation Advisory Council, the Nassau County Racial Equality Council, the Amelia Island Museum Board, and Vice President of the Nassau County Democratic Black Caucus. Mike has done numerous history presentations on various topics such as the Haitian Revolution, the greatest military upset West Point never told me about, the Second Seminole War, America's unknown successful slave revolt, the influence of ancient Egypt in our modern-day everyday lives, the Great Black Migration North and its impact on American culture, the irony of David Yulee and his family, America's first black millionaires, and Soul of the Long Gray Line, the amazing black graduates of West Point. Mike is available for private group tours and history lectures at Xenophone, that's XENOPHON6 at AOL.com, or his number, 678-523-7943, and he will be available after his presentation to get more information. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for Commanding General Jorge Biassou.
may be seated. Welcome to my headquarters here at Fort Matanzas in St. Augustine. Many of you may not know who I am. I have gone by many names. Slave, butcher, liberator, arrogant, General Jorge Biassou. Which name is true? Tonight you shall find out. I was born in San Domingo, what you now call Haiti. Haiti was the jewel of the Caribbean. Haiti made many white men very, very rich. They had the white diamond, what you call sugar. Sugar made the white man's life very sweet. Sugar made my life hell. The blood of my people flavor your sugar. I was owned by Christian priests. Could you believe people who taught the love of Jesus and to treat each other the way Jesus wanted you to with love looked at me like coins in their collection box? How can it be such a surprise? It was the Pope himself who blessed the African slave trade. In 1452, Pope Nicholas V wrote a paper bull named Dom Diversas, in which he blessed the kings of Europe to go into Africa and enslave us. Ironic, no? That the current Pope is a descendant of Haitian slaves? During the day, we worked in the stifling heat and we cut the sugar cane. But at night, we whispered amongst ourselves. We kept Africa alive. We were dying at such an incredible rate, working ourselves to death. We could not replenish the population to normal births. Therefore, they kept having to replenish slaves by bringing more slaves from Africa. That was their downfall. All of us knew who we were. We knew our names. We knew our history. We knew what tribe we came from. And we knew we could not remain slaves. At this time, during the whispers of the night, in August of 1791, we all met at a plantation at the night, covered by the sounds of the thunder and the rain. The name of the place was called Buick-Caimán, Alligator Woods. The alligators protected us. They kept the white man from coming to hear what we were doing. Yes, we weaponized everything at our disposal. At this meeting, there was a voodoo priest. His name was Duty Buckman. He was marooned from Jamaica. As well, by his side was a voodoo priestess. Her name, Cecile Fatima. Together, they summoned the ancestors. And the ancestors ancestors told us something very important. They told us that the French are not immortal. Your slave masters can die like pigs. At this ceremony, we slaughtered a pig and we drank the blood of the pig to seal the deal. I was there. I remember. A few days later, our revolution began. Our motto was coupe terre, boule cow. Off with his head and burn down their houses. That day, so many plantations caught on fire that the sky turned blood red. The French, they called us animals. No, we're not animals. Animals kill to eat. We kill to become humans again. The cruelty was what they did to us. We regained our dignity by killing them. Now, history is written by very soft people, but revolutions cannot be won by soft people. Revolutions are won by hard people who realize that they have nothing left to lose. Declarations on independence written on paper mean nothing. This was our Declaration of Independence. Cold steel, covered by warm blood. People followed me, 40,000 at most, because I was fearless. Or they followed me because they feared me more than they feared the French. Yes? Whatever the case, history shall remember that you cannot win without being hard and cruel. Now, the history books, when we talk about the Haitian Revolution, you always hear about, Toussaint Louverture, Toussaint Louverture, Toussaint Louverture. I'm sick of hearing about Toussaint. Let me tell you something about Toussaint. Toussaint was a slave on the Brida plantation. He loved his master. He had easy slave job. He was carriage driver. I worked the field. I hated my master. He loved his master. He had what you say, what you call it, Stockholm syndrome, perhaps. But when the revolution started, the first thing Toussaint did was go to protect his master. Then Toussaint came and joined the revolution. Toussaint worked for me. I was his boss. He was my aide-de-camp. He was my surgeon. I taught Toussaint everything he knew. Together, Toussaint and I spent 3 years fighting. We had the support of the King of Spain, King Carlos IV. King Carlos saw the French Revolution and the Haitian Revolution as his opportunity to get the entire island, the entire jewel of the Caribbean. He thought he could take it from the French at this point. So he used me to help him get the rest of Hispaniola. I am no fool. I knew what he was doing. But he used me. Guess what? I used him. He gave us weapons. He gave us finances. He gave us titles. He gave us uniforms. He gave us everything we needed to conduct our revolution. We were smart. We played one European power against the other. We get what we needed. Desperate times called for desperate measures. I was determined to get our freedom by any means necessary. In 1794, in February, the French decided to free all their slaves in all their colonies. Toussaint saw this as his opportunity. He saw the French as opportunity. I just saw the French as chains. I warned Toussaint, do not be enticed by the French. But Toussaint did not listen. Toussaint switched sides, and he fought against me. Now, Toussaint, good commander, not bad, but Toussaint, not me. Look at me. I am big man. I am strong man. I am imposing. I am good looking. Toussaint, not so much. But Toussaint decided to fight for the French and fight against me. Toussaint was smart. Toussaint could read strategy like a priest reads scripture. He was good. He knew my strengths. He knew my weaknesses. He should. I trained him. And we fought. Sometimes he got the best of me. Sometimes I got the best of him. But in August of 1795, the French and the Spanish had a treaty called the Treaty of Versailles. In this treaty, I was required to disband my army and leave my hometown. The King of Spain recognized my excellence as a general. And he eventually brought me here to Fort Matanzas in St. Augustine to lead the black militia here in Florida. I arrived in January of 1796. Me, my lovely wife, my family, my followers, about almost 30, were here, right here in Florida, fighting the Seminoles, fighting the Georgians from America. We were fierce fighters. We had fought in the Revolution. The Revolution was nothing. The combatants here were nothing. We continued to defeat our enemies. Why? Because in all cases, we knew if we lose, we would become enslaved or worse again. Not going to happen on my watch. Not going to happen in my watch. The King of Spain, he paid me second highest salary in Florida after the governor of Florida. He gave me land. He gave me a house in St. Augustine, the land I call Bayou Mulatto. I tell you, I was worth what I was paid, but I certainly was not paid what I was worth. Now, I tell you something. Let me tell you about Haiti. Now, this is the land that your president, he calls what? Shithole country? In the sea. I tell you one thing. Haiti is poor for a reason. Haiti is mineral rich. Haiti has the second largest deposit of iridium in the world, second only after South Africa. You know how much iridium is a troy ounce? $7,300 a troy ounce, almost twice as expensive as gold. And guess what? Haiti has gold too. Haiti has copper. Haiti has bauxite. Haiti is mineral rich. So why Haiti so poor? I tell you why. Haiti did something Haiti was not supposed to do. Haiti proved that it was not God's intent for the black man to stay subjugated to the white man. For this, Haiti was punished. And they are punished to this day. The French came back to Haiti in ships and threatened to blow Haiti to bits. Sound familiar? He bought gunships, and they said, you either repay us for our losses of our slaves, or we will keep bombing you every time we come. Now, we were forced, in order to join the international community, to repay the French slaveholders for freeing, because we freed ourselves. That don't make sense. You come to my country, you take me out your country, you separate me from my family. You make me work for free. I come back, I free myself from you, and you make me pay you for money you lost? You know what we call that? Bullshit! That's what we call that. This president does not know his history. It was the French who saved the Americans at the Battle of Savannah. It was Haitian soldiers who kept the British from overrunning the retreating American forces. And guess what? I am not first black commander here. The commander of the troops at the Battle of Savannah was a black man. He was a colonel. His name was Laurent Francois Lenoir, known by his noble name, the Marquis de Rouvray. He commanded those forces in Savannah. Likewise, do you not know that the only reason America got the Louisiana Territory was because of my soldiers and our efforts in Haiti? Let me explain it to you. In 1799, Napoleon took over the revolution. He recognized that he did not have money that he needed to wage his wars. So he decided that he was going to force the Haitians back onto the plantations and get his money. He sent 40,000 troops to do this, to force the Haitians back on the plantation. Then those 40,000 troops were supposed to go to the Louisiana Territory to protect the land from the British. Guess what happened to them? They never made it to the Louisiana Territory. Out of 40,000, only 8,000 came out of Haiti. You won't find that story in any book at West Point. I know. The debt that America owes the Haitian is enormous. Haiti was the first truly free republic in the Western Hemisphere. The only truly free republic. The importance of Haiti is that it was the first time Africans stood up and successfully said, "No more! No more!" And their voices echoed across the oceans. The men, 200,000 of them, black men, heard that call and stood up to fight for their freedom in your American Civil War. In Italy, they went down to conquer Ethiopia. The Ethiopians heard the call and twice defeated the Italians. They remained the only African country out of 54 to never have been colonized. Today, in a place called Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré kicked out the French who are still colonizing, and he took over his own resources and controls his own destiny. That's the importance of Haiti. I'll tell you one more thing. All of you in this room all come from a black woman in Africa. You look surprised. No? Al-Kebula is the real name of Africa. It means mother of all mankind. The Bible tells you this, no? You know the story of Adam and Eve? Yes? Where do you think they were? Archaeologists told you this a couple of 100 years ago. No one believed it. No one wanted to believe it. But now, your science, your DNA is what it's called. Guess what? It has said the same thing everyone else has said. Everyone in this room, on this planet, at this time, all came from a black woman in North Africa. Her name, Mitochondrial Eve. no matter how hard you fight, no matter how much you resist, no matter what obstacles you place in the way, you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. Thank you. That concludes my presentation. What questions do you have? Before we actually get started, there's some people I need to recognize. Thea is back there. Thea, there she is. There's a reason why she won that award. She's awesome. The team here at the museum, they put this together. Tariq and all the other staff members here, you really need to dig in your pocket before you leave and give them a donation. Because they did an outstanding job of supporting me here. This entire setup was their idea. I came in, I had certain things I told them I wanted, and they just blew me away with what they set up. The other person I'd like to recognize is my auntie back there, Miss Phelps. She was one of the inspirations for me putting this together. I did this for her back in February, I think it was. I did it in like 4 days. I put it together this year. And then the other individual I'd like to recognize is Senator Tony Hill, right here to the front. Senator Tony Hill is an incredible individual. I'd like to do a play about him one day. I'm just not tall and thin enough. But he was truly an inspiration. He said, Mike, if you put this together, it's going to fly. I guarantee you other people are going to want to see this. So I thank you, sir, for inspiring me. What are your questions? Yes, sir.
Well, given the political problems that Haiti has had for many, many years, how does the Dominican Republic stay fairly stable?
Well, as I said, I alluded to earlier, there's a reason why Haiti specifically, they're right next to each other. Right. I mean, they're literally sharing the same rock. But Haiti has all these issues, and the DR is thriving right now. Why is that? Well, it's simple. It's really, really simple. Because at the time, even though the European powers were all fighting against each other, the one thing they could all agree on was that Haiti needed to be crushed. And that started back in the 1800s. So they couldn't defeat Haiti on the ground. Every time they went, they got their butts kicked. Right? Haiti defeated the French army, a Napoleonic French army, when nobody was beating Napoleon. Right? The Haiti beat the Spanish, right? And they beat the British. Imagine if your slaves that you hold found out that happened. But specifically in Charleston, where the Charlestonians in South Carolina was like, hey, slaves outnumbered the white folks in South Carolina big time. That's why in 1808 we stopped importing slaves. That's why we stopped. It wasn't because we were feeling bad about slavery. We didn't stop slavery. We just said, no, we can't have no new Negroes coming here and whipping our behind. Too risky. So we started breeding slaves in this country. We bred slaves in this country, literally. In 1808, when that policy started, there were less than 1 million slaves. At the start of the Civil War, after we stopped importing slaves, there's almost 4 million slaves here. Where'd they come from? We bred them. We bred them like puppies, like Rottweilers. Okay? That's how they got here. And the reason for that is a person who never knew freedom is more easily controlled than a person who was free and got enslaved. Then you got to fight. He's going to fight like hell. Because now he has something else to compare it to. Nothing is anything until you have something to compare it to. Yes, ma'am.
Where were you born and how did you die? And I want to know how Tucson died too.
Okay? She's not a plant.
You know she's going to test you.
I didn't want to know where you were born.
Tucson.
Okay, Auntie.
I was born in 1740. Don't know the exact time. George Biassou in La Cap Francais. His mother and father were slaves that worked for a hospital. His mother was Diane and his father was Carlos. And they worked again for like some kind of a Christian charitable hospital. And they were all slaves. Likewise, Toussaint was born a slave, but his master educated him. He was able to read. And Toussaint actually, his boss emancipated him, and Toussaint became a businessman and a slave owner. Right? And this was not, now this is, you got to understand the times. This was not uncommon for the free blacks in the area. It's not uncommon. A lot of the free blacks were mulatto class. There were 4 classes of people in Haiti at the time: the Grand Blancs, the Petite Blancs, the free people of color, and the slaves, right? And they were constantly bickering with each other. And the difference between the Haitian Revolution of 1791 and the previous revolution led by Macandal was the free blacks joined the revolution in 1791. They turned the tide. They made the difference. Macandal, they fought with Macandal back in the 1750s. Now, to answer your question, where did I die? I died in St. Augustine on July 14th, 1801. I am buried in Tolomato Cemetery in St. Augustine. The gravesite still hasn't, we know he was buried there because the research by Jane Landers shows in the registrar that he was buried with honors. He was buried with honors on that in his ceremony, but we don't know exactly where his gravesite is. We know it's in Tolomato Cemetery, but we don't know exactly where. Good question. Any other questions?
How do we find the gravesite?
That's a good question, sir. You gave me that task and I haven't figured it out. One of the things is we're all on the North Florida Historical Trail Committee. We're all working.
Auntie, turn that phone off.
Jesus, she can't figure out how to operate that.
Try it.
We're all working on a project to bring more tourism, cultural tourism, here to Amelia Island and all the northeast corridor for St. Augustine and all that, and Senator Hill has been instrumental in getting all the folks that need to be put together. So in one of our committee meetings, he tasked me and another brother of mine to go find a cemetery. So far, we've failed in that endeavor.
Find the gravesite.
Yes, find a gravesite. Yes, sir.
Segueing into cemeteries, we have a Boscabella cemetery here.
Yes, sir.
And there's a French soldier.
Peter Biassou de Necar. Correct? He is the oldest known cemetery, recognizable cemetery site in Bosbello. He died, I believe it was January 13th, 1813, fighting against in the Patriot War when General Georgia came down. He was from Le Cap Francais. But yes, he is the oldest known Peter Necar. Now,
Was he a soldier of color?
yes, he was.
Okay.
He was. And he was a Freemason. If you notice his gravesite,
Right.
he has a square and compass, which caught my attention, me being a Prince Hall Mason. So yes, he was part of that organization. Like I said, I'm speaking with my French accent. But yes,
He was killed in the Patriots.
he was killed in the Patriot War. Yes, sir.
Interesting.
1813.
Can't find that often. I've researched it, I didn't know that. So
Yes.
I learned something, thank you.
Yes.
I had a question.
Yes.
So we always hear about Toussaint, and I know when I was in college I heard about Toussaint a lot. Why might you think we don't hear about General
Biassou?
a lot? Yeah.
Well, the war in Haiti lasted from 1791 to they declared their independence in January of 1804. Okay, it's a long war. Revolutions are long. I mean, France's revolution was equally or almost equally as long. So during the early parts of the war, people like Dutty Buckman, who was a commander, people like Jean Francais was a commander. These people you don't hear about because a lot of them either got killed off early in the war or left to come other places. Like the reason we know about General Biassou is through the research of Dr. Jane Landers. Dr. Jane Landers wrote a lot of peer-reviewed articles about the black society here in Florida, and she was able to get first-hand data because when the French left in 1763, when the Spanish left in 1763 and the British came here, they left in orderly fashion, and all their records were intact. And she was able to go back over to Spain and see all the records, including the records that when the Onus-Adams Treaty was signed in 1821, okay? That's when the Spanish turned over Florida to the Americans, okay? All their records, it was a peaceful transfer, so a lot of their documents were intact. So she's reading a lot of when the court records and the documents and the marriage records and the what do you call it when you take a child? Christening records and all that kind of the wedding records, all that kind of stuff she had access to. She did a tremendous amount of research, and she published it in a peer-reviewed journal, as opposed to a book. Anybody know why that's important? When you write a book, you can pretty much say what you want. But when it's peer-reviewed, it has to go through a group of scholars before you get to publish it. And they'll call bullshit on your stuff.
Is she still living?
Yes, she's still living.
Where does she live?
I'm not sure where she lived, but she had a lot to do with finding the documents for Fort Mose. That was her, Fort Mose was a big deal.
Yes.
That's when I first found out about the first free black settlement here in America, being Fort Mose in 1738, led by a black mandingo named Francisco Menendez.
So is the general tied into Fort Mose?
Yes, the general's tied in because he controlled all the militias. He was at Fort Matanzas. Now, Fort Mose was non-existent when he came back. Fort Mose got burned down when the British pretty much took over and everybody left Fort Mose and had to go to Havana. So that was the first phase. By the time General Biassou came back, it was way after that. It's almost 50, 60 years after that. So chronologically, Fort Mose really wasn't there. Fort Mose got buried. We recently discovered Fort Mose, right? And they pretty much left in the 1730s when General Oglethorpe came down and kept messing with it. They wound up going to Cuba. Yes, sir.
So I was wondering, you mentioned Jane Landis had a lot to do with the discovery of the records of General Biassou. Did she work with Kathy Megan at all, do you know? Because I know Kathleen Megan was really instrumental in
I heard that. I don't have the direct information. I heard that though. Kathleen Deegan is also at Fort Mose, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, I heard that, but I don't have. That wasn't something I researched. They can point you to a document. Now,
It's published by, University Press of Florida.
University Press of Florida, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. Now, if you want to get some more information, I thought I had them out here, but Jane Landers is a great source. I put, when you came in, I wrote a biography on General Biassou with some resources on it. But if you really want to get some more information on the Haitian Revolution, Thomas Gegas wrote a book on the Haitian Revolution, very good, it's considered a classic. And C.L.R. James, a Trinidadian man, wrote The Jacobins, which is an excellent book on the history of Haiti. So Haiti, to me, is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment.